What's going on, everyone? This is Matt, Squeaky Clean Air, and today we're going to be working on Jeremy's Kia Stinger. Previously bagged this puppy. It's actually one of my favorite builds, to be honest with you, just because it's so freaking unique compared to what I've been working for. But I don't want to start choosing over builds. I like them all, but Kia Stinger has a sweet spot in my heart. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be installing the mid pipes. I believe you got the ARK mid pipes. Is that correct, sir? Yeah. Awesome. So we got it on the left, and stay tuned. I think a lot of people already did a couple of these videos. There's a bunch on YouTube, right? Yeah, but we're gonna do it squeaky clean style, and I got Jeremy here that's gonna help out. So GR Stinger, your Instagram is what? GR Stinger 87. Yeah. All right. So stay tuned. All right. So here it is. Here's the Kia Stinger on the left. I'm blessed that I have a lift. Makes it a lot easier to work on. I considered buying a quick jack, but quick jack is just not as good because it doesn't go as high as the mid-rise. You guys already seen most of my videos in the past, so it's nothing new. But here's the ARK setup. Looks pretty dope. It reminds me of my NVIDIA mid pipes. I guess this whole section will go in, and this whole section will go in. So let me see how it is underneath. Okay. So I guess it goes... Oh, so it basically just bypasses the cats. Right? Yeah, bypasses the cats. So it goes around here, and then it attaches to... Where does it go? It attaches to here, I believe. Okay, so it's simple. So it goes all the way here. There's a mount here. Bypasses the secondary cats. And it connects up. It's a little bit rotted, but we should be able to break it up. So, all right. So let's do this. Cool.
They said they use the stock bolts for one of them too.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Let's remove the factory ones first, and then we'll know. So this is the hardware it comes with. 2 gaskets. You reuse some of the stuff that you have OEM, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to it, and we're gonna start removing the factory ones. And let's do that right now. All right, so the first thing that we did is we cleaned up the bolts. It looks like the mounts and the bolts are okay. The quickest way to do it is I use one of these guys. I already showed you guys in my previous video. One of these wire wheels on top of an impact, and then just go over it, and it really cleans up the threads and everything like that, so it makes it easy to remove. So we're gonna remove these now. Before I remove them, what I like to do is to zap them a little bit with heat. Obviously, let's do the torch. What the heat will do is we'll kind of loosen up a lot of the gunk that's in there, especially because this has gone through winter, and it should loosen these up. So we're going to continue doing that and hopefully get them loose. And I want to do the back ones first is because they're heavier, and the front ones over here are being held by the brackets, so I can... While Jeremy maybe holds the rest of it, we'll be able to remove the middle ones and then remove the front ones. Or we'll remove the front ones first and then retain the factory brackets that are over here to hold it. And then when I remove the front ones, then they'll kind of gently drop, so Jeremy will hold it. But I want to kind of target, and I want to do the rotted ones first, because these are probably going to give us the most headaches. Either they will or they're not. From the looks of it, they cleaned up pretty well, so they might be okay. So stay tuned for this. We're going to do that now. Okay, so they're off. One of the things that you might encounter when you guys work on removing is these little bolts that are supposed to sort of thread out have a tendency to stay in there. So if it's on the primaries, just keep them in there. That'll allow you to mount the new mid pipe easily. And just don't bother removing them or taking them out, because that kind of gives you leverage. I know on this one we have both of them that are kind of stuck in there. They're supposed to sort of thread out with the lock nuts on them, but these ones stayed. But for the primers, just keep them on, and then what you can do is you can use the harder that's provided from the ARK to sort of mix and match the bolts. I'll show you guys once we get both of them mounted to see what I mean. In this one we're going to use one of the aftermarket ones to bolt it, and we're going to keep the one that's factory. This one has both of them that are left. There's almost no point in removing them because the axis is a pain in the butt. So just keep them in there and basically use the provided nuts to mount them up. For the midsection that was rotten or look rotten that we cleaned up, and I think we're also going to reuse the gaskets. We might use the front gaskets because the front gaskets have like a little bit of a notch in them that might sit better on the primer, especially where there's a lot of the push from the engine. So I might use those, but the back ones, these gaskets are still in decent condition. So we're going to use them up. We're going to use them up with these. We're going to clean these up, obviously, so they're a little bit nicer. We're going to clean these up with a grinder or with so you know they meet nicer. So while we have it out, we'll do it. But this is what I mean. One of them is kind of stuck in there, so we had to grind it out. And then the top one is also kind of stuck in there. But you know, as long as you get it to this sort of you know, as long as you kind of cut them off over here, it doesn't really matter because you can use the ARK hardware to mount up the aftermarket one. But as long as you get it to this location, you have an ability to pry it out and remove it. So I just wanted to sort of show you guys how it is. This one we kind of got to with a Sawzall, and now I'm just gonna strike it off with a punch in order to get rid of it. So that will give us access to remove the right one. So that's just a little bit of an update. We'll show you guys how everything is mounted up in just a minute. Okay, so it's finally done. Couple tips in regards to bolting everything down. It seems like the ARK kit is missing, was it 4 bolts, right? Because it only came with 4. It's missing four bolts because just if you're able to remove the front primary ones, and or you have to chop them off because your stuff is rotted, you need to be able to replace them with the aftermarket ones that they come with. But unfortunately, they didn't come, so we had to reuse for the fronts. We had to reuse the factory ones. This one, yeah, we had to basically reuse the factory ones. So we're able to use the new ones over here, and I think maybe that's also the principle behind it, that the primaries will not get rotten. I don't know, it's just an assumption, but ARK should have just provided 4 more bolts. It would have made it easier for the fronts just in case your stuff is rotted. Jeremy's wasn't too bad. He does daily drive it in the winter. He's had it for about 3 years now, right? So his wasn't too bad, I guess maybe just because of the location of the primaries, but just in case, like, I don't know, if you do an installation on an older you know, Kia and stuff like that, you don't want to risk it. So what you want to do is you want to be able to sort of make sure that they're tight and stuff like that. So but anyway, so we were able to reuse the front ones for the factory. Would have been nice if we had 4 more, but these are mounted up as here, and then you have 4 short ones, and the 4 short ones are used to attach this brace over here. Because now the ARK mid pipes don't have threaded you know, mounts, which the factory ones do, so you have to use the 4 that are supplied there from the hardware kit in order to mount these. But overall, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a lot easier if you have a lift. It took us about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just because we were kind of cleaning everything up and making sure. Oh yeah, and we reused all 4 gaskets, because the ones that ARK provides, they only provide 2 gaskets. They have a little ridge in them, and we're kind of afraid that if we use the ones that are rigid, they have a ridge on them, they might not seal as well. So if you're able to use the metal factory ones and yours are still in decent condition, after 3 years of winter driving, Jeremy's were okay, so yours should be okay if you're in a warmer climate. Do reuse the factory ones because they do seal out nice. So yeah, so this is the final result here. It's amazing welds. Really good craftsmanship by ARK. These seem to be very, very solid, but we're going to fire these guys up in just a minute and see how they sound. I don't think there's going to be much of an exhaust sound, but Jeremy is going to be the one that's going to be able to tell us the difference. And that's about it. And we'll stay tuned for the exhaust. All right, so we're going to fire this thing up and see how much of a difference it makes. If it does any, maybe. I think it will. Ready? Yep. Oh, it's got more growl, no? What? Definitely has a lot more growl, no?
Yeah. That made a difference.
It did?
And that was eco mode too.
Okay. Warm it up and then we'll have it revved, I guess. This is cool. This is ARK mid pipe. Yeah, it is throatier. Yeah, let it idle up, and then that's pretty cool. So what do you think? Is it throatier?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it a lot quieter before?
Oh yeah, I was quieter.
Okay, so it does make a difference.
It does definitely make a difference.
I guess the bot dyno will tell though, right?
The 5 horsepower?
Oh, well, probably, but it should sound a lot nicer probably at wide open throttle. So it'd be nice. All right, well, that concludes our installation of the ARK mid pipe. I like it, apart from 4 missing bolts. I guess you have to reuse the factory ones. It would have been nice if they provided 4 more. That's pretty much it, and follow Squeaky Clean on Instagram. Thanks for watching.